Hi, welcome back. Today I'm going to teach ASP.NET Core with react.js full stack development web API CRUD system step by step. Let me see the demo first. So this is the demo. Here the simple form design which will be able to fill the student details. So there's two fields, student name and course. I'm going to enter the new student as Peter. Course I'm going to enter as PHP. Click register button. Student registered successfully. Click OK. Form has been cleared. Newly created record will be added into the below table you can see here. Now here if you want to edit the record, there is a two choice. You will be able to edit and delete. Here are two options. If you want to edit the record, click edit button. The editable record will be passing to the form. Here you will be able to edit the record. So here I'm going to edit the student Peter James. Course I'm going to enter as enter PHP JSP. Click update button. Now you can see at this time registration updated. Click OK. Now here updated record will be so in the table you will be able to see here. Very simple. Now if you want to delete the record, there's another button called delete. Click delete button. The record has been deleted. Click OK here. Very simple. How to do these systems step by step we'll teach. First, I'm going to develop my backend. So backend, I'm going to use ASP.NET Core. So here, Web API. So here, Visual Studio 2022 I have installed in your machine. I'm going to open this app. Click here and open. But you can see here, this is the user interface. You will be able to get it. So here, there's a choice, create a new project. Click on here, create a new project. Now you can see here, C Sharp, Windows and desktop. So here I'm going to select as first C Sharp. You have to select C Sharp. At this time, I'm going to select the application which has Windows. Here I'm going to select as web. So here the option web. Click web. Here you can see here ASP.NET Web API. So at the moment we are not using this one. We are using this one ASP.NET Core Web API. Okay, here we have used this RESTful HTTP service, all the things we have configured over here. ASP.NET Core Web API. Select this option, click next. Here you have to give the name of the project. I'm going to name of the project as React ASP. Correct. Click next. Click create. You have to wait until the project created. After project has been created, you are getting this window, right? So here, this window here, this is your project name, React uh, ASP CRUD. So you can see this is our folders, controller, properties, all the things are there. Now first what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to add some dependencies. So first select the React ASP CRUD, this project, right click. Now here you can see manage NuGet packages. Here we have to download the packages. Now here where you will be able to install your dependencies, right? So here the install update, you can click browse tab. Here first I'm going to install the entity framework core design. So you type entity framework core design. You just set this one, entity frame core design. You just type on this one, entity framework core design. Here you can see the second one, Microsoft entity frame, sorry, this one, not this, entity framework core design. So here you will be able to find it over here. There should be SQL. We need here Microsoft entity core design. This one should be our first dependency. We have to install it. Right? Click on this one. Click install. It asks to uh, click OK. Accept the license. Now you can see the installation has been completed this package. After that, second one I'm going to install the SQL Server in order to connect with the databases. So SQL Server. So here if you go to the code code first approach, you have to download it. Okay, right? So this is must. Okay, so here I'm going to go to the code first approach. So here you have to type the database SQL Server. So SQL Server SQL Server, not SQL Server design. I need a SQL Server. Here, Microsoft Entity Framework Core.xm SQL Server. You have to install this package as well. Click OK. Accept the license. Third dependency, I'm going to install it as a tools. Entity Core Tools. Tools. We have to get the tools. Not common tools. We have only the tools. The design. Here entity Microsoft Entity Framework Tools. Select this one, install it. Click OK. Accept the license. That we have to install the JSON. So you have a new soft JSON, this one. Click on the first option. Click install. Click OK. You can see all the dependency installations completed. So you can see this is your project ASP.NET, React ASP CRUD. Here you can see here the dependencies. They are the separate dependency packages created. Under the package you have a packages. So these packages you have what are the packages you install, it will be listed out. Core design, SQL server and tools and news of JSON in order to access the JSON formats. Right? These packages are must. Right? Okay. After done the stuff, the second step, what I'm going to do is here. So I'm going to this screen, I'm going to close them after done with the stuff. This one also you have to close them. Right. Now here, you have to, this is a controller. Okay, after that, what I'm going to do is then, I'm going to create a models. So what how to create the models? So I'm going to create a separate folder, right click, add, new folder. This folder I'm going to name it as models. So models folder. This models folder, I'm going to create a model, right click, add, new item, class student, student, class student, add, okay, the blank class has been created. Now here, first what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to, here inside the class, the blank class, inside the class first I'm going to create the three fields, ID, student name and course. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to create here. First I'm going to create public, look at the public, int, ID, so that get and set method. Get and set method. The same thing, Control C to copy, Control V to paste below. Second one should be string. This one should be student name. Here shortly write a st name, student name. Get and set method. We have another variable I'm going to create as course, string course. Right. We have a three properties. Okay. ID, name, student name, and course. Right. So these are the database fields, table fields. So here I'm going to create the ID. Okay. So we have to specify the key. So I'm going to create a key. So write like this, key, key. So create the key. The primary key. You have to get the primary. You have to click this one. Here it automatically import the component here using system component model data annotation. It automatically created, right? You have to save this one. After done the things you have to create. Okay, now your model has been created successfully. Now after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the student DB context. Okay, the student DB context I'm going to create, right? You have to create the separate folder, otherwise you will be creating this folder as well. Okay, create the model folder as well. Yeah, otherwise you can create the different folder as service, and you inside the service folder you have to create it. Right, so I'm going to create inside this folder also. Uh, Select the model folder, right click, add. Here I'm going to create the another class, new item, class. This class I'm going to create as student student db context class. It's a context class I'm going to create it. The blank context class. This class I'm going to inherit the db context. This db context which will be inherit from entity core. Okay, entity core application db context. Okay, it will be here. If you are not installed the Microsoft Entity Core, it will be not, you can't access this DB context class. Okay, it is reside on the Entity Core application, right? After the other stuff, what you're going to do is here, I'm going to click on this one, this pencil symbol. You have to generate constructor student DB context option. Here, this is the format you have to generate it. Okay, this is the format they given. This is how they communicate with the database access, right? So click on this one. Here we have created the database. Okay, we have created the databases. You have to create the databases. Okay, right. Okay, now after that, what you are going to do is here I'm going to, in order to create the database, first you have to write public db set. Here we have the student. Tab key, you have to press tab key. So student, you have to press tab key. It will be this annotation will be you press tab key. Okay, you no need to type anything else. It automatically, if you have clicked the dbit set, it automatically, if you have only one models student dot css, this model it will be indicated. If you press tab key, it will be automatically you have done the things. Okay, students. Okay, students, it will be get and set method. Right, very simply it will be like this. Okay, after that, what you are going to do is we have to make it as student. This one also student. Right. After that, what you are going to do is here I'm going to do anything is you have to write protected. You have to write anything is protected. You have to write protected. You have to write the access basically protected. Yeah, protected. Override. So here we have to create database connection. I'm going to give the database connection on configuring configuring. So create the database connection. Press the tab key on your keyboard. It at playing. Okay. If you have press one configuring, if you type on configuring, it automatically you have to type db context builder. Inside here you have create the database connection. Press tab key on a keyboard, it automatically indicates it. J option builder, use SQL server mean. If you press tab key, it automatically what's the, you have to they ask to create your database connection. Okay, you ask to create the database connection, right? So here what you're going to do is you have to inside here you have to given the database connection over here. But very simple, you have to given the database connection. If you are not installed SQL server, you have to install the latest version of SQL server. Okay, I already installed the SQL server, right? While installing the SQL server, okay, while installing the SQL server, what is the user credential you have used? What is the username you have to, while installing the SQL server, what is the username you have given along with the password? You have to given the user credential inside here, right? Now, first what I'm going to do is, we have to test that. So first go to the view server explorer. So click the server explorer, you can hear the DB connection, all things are there. Now here you can see simply, I'm going to click the properties. You have a database connection is there. Okay, we have to modify them, this one. Okay, this is a database connection, right? The database connection is there. Okay, now what I'm going to click, this is the same thing. Inside the connection string, I'm going to get that. Okay, if you the first time you haven't get this one. Okay, okay, so what I'm going to do is here I'm going to try it manually. Then you will be able to understand how to create the database yourself. So here you write data source, you write data source. Okay, data source equal dot means the current machine, it will be indicated the current machine. If you have used any server, you have to specify the name of the server over here. This, if you are using the current machine mean your current computer, you have to specify dot, it automatically indicates your name of the computer, right? After that you have to ini here catalog your database name. Catalog mean your database name. Catalog equal your database name, whatever name you can give. I'm going to give the database name as ESMS. You can write LBS. You can give BS. After that, you have to write user ID equal SA. While I am installing the user ID, I am going to provide the SA. Password equal 123. You have type 123. Right? That's it. Okay, that's the thing you have to write. After that, you have to write trust server certificate. Certificate. Certi, certificate. Certificate equal true. That's it. Trust server certificate. You have to, the spelling mistake, you have to check it 2 or 3 times. This must trust server certificate. Get true. That's it. Catalog LBS, right? That's the thing you have to write. Okay, that's the thing. This is how we have created database. Okay, very simple, right? After that, this is the database connection. Your database, what is the name you have created? LBS. This is the name you have given there. You have to create a database on your SQL server, right? So this is user credential. Now here, what are the currently databases available? You will be able to check. Now I'll be okay. First, you have to check what are the databases available. Now you have a good idea. Now you can see here these are databases. You can click the database, this icon. You can see these are database there, right? This already I have created this LMS. So LMS already created, right? Now I'm going to create this database, right? So you can see, look at this one. Now here I'm going to change it as init lbs. You have to write other things are same. Right now here we have to change this one as a student db context. You have to write like this, right? Now in order to create a database, what I'm going to do is first things, here we have this is the database location we have given here. This is the name we have to create the database. So first I'm going to go to the programming.cs. So here I'm going to type, I have to just paste. I given this course, don't worry about that one. Paste this one. Before the app, I'm going to give the build a service at context student db context. Okay, the student db context means what is the context name you are given. This same context you have to given as a programming.css file. Build a service at db student db context option. Use SQL Server build a configuration. Student db context. The same name you have given. What is the name you have created? The db context you have given here. This is the thing you have to give. Right? This is very important stuff. After that, uh, app setting.json file, go here. Here also we have to give the connection string. Okay, connection string also the important stuff, right? The connection string, comma, so write the connection string. Right here, student db context, this is the context name. Server dot database, you have, what is the name you have to create? Lbs, the database name, right? So you have to give this one, right? This option, that's it. That's the thing we have to do it, right? Now let's save all. Now let's do the things. Connection string also we have given. Connection string you have to given this one. This one, what is the name you have given, the same connection string. Application directory, JS as well. Right, no problem. Now let's create the database. So after that, you have to save all tools, SQL, NuGet manager, package management. Here we have to given, right? You have to click, write add migration ini tab, right? You have to create the database. You have to type like this: add migration, or migrate the database ini tab. Press enter key. Right. Build success. Use remove migration. You have to create it like this. Right. Now what I'm going to say, I'm going to update the database. Update slash database. Press enter key on your keyboard. Now you can see the update, all the modules are completed successfully here. So it will be created your database here. You will be create all the tables here. Okay, now you will be able to checking through your SQL server, refresh it, go to the database and check it. Here the LBS is there. Inside the LBS database, you will be able to see the table, which is a student table. You will be able to see the tables. What's the table you have to create? Okay, very simple. Here, all the things are there. Right? Now let's back to our application. Now you can see here, there is a separate folder has been created, which is a migration. You can see here. Inside the migration folder, you have a different two files are created. Here, this is a migration files are created. You can see here. Inside the migration files, you can see here the complete the table creation model is there. What's ID, name, course. You will be able to see here all the details inside this migration folder. Okay, very simple. Right. Now our migration has been created successfully. Now I'm going to go to create the controller. So go to the controller folder, right click. I'm going to create a new controller. So add new controller. Select as API, empty, API controller empty. Click add. Here I'm going to create the name as student controller. Student controller. Click add. Now you can see here your controller has been created successfully. You can see here the student controller.cs here. This is the file route API controller. This is the API access, right? So here this is the class student controller. It inherit controller base, right? Now here first what I'm going to do here is here I'm going to create the here to create private. You have to create private read only student context student db context student db context. You have to create the student db context, right? Now what I'm going to do is here I'm going to create the public you have to write public student public student controller. So you have to write student controller. You have to write student controller. You have to write here student here press tab key on your keyboard. It will be take care of all the things. Now here after that you have to write just simple the constructor. This is a constructor I have created. It's a constructor. This also this d construct, right? You have to press tab key on your keyboard that again, right? So it will be take care of this one, right? You have to create a constructor over here. Okay, right. After that, what you are going to do is here the same thing. This one right here, right? Simple, right? This is the you have right. This is the efficient way to write like this. db, right? Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is after that read only context db context, right? Context, right? Right. Now I'm here. I'm going to create the API here. So you have right. First one HTTP. HTTP. This one should be the GET request. I'm going to load the values. So HTTP GET. Now here we have right route. So right routes. So the routes. You have right get student. Get student details. Right. Get student. Right. Here you have right the public assign tasks I enumerable right student. So right here get student. Open close curly bracket get student. Right here write return. You have to put assign. You have to write await. You have to put them as await. You have to write student db context dot student db context dot student property dot to list assign this one. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Perfect. This is how you have to load the student details. Okay, right? Right. So after that, what you are going to do is I'm going to at the moment we don't have a student details. We have to write another thing is a post method. So you have to get the same thing. I just copy and paste it. This one you have to write get post. Post. This is a post request. When you get the records, you have to write a get request. The get post is a get post request, right? So this one should be the get student post. So you have to write here student. You have to write here student add student add student. Right routes. We have to add student. Now here we have to write so public the same thing. Public and this one copy paste it. You have to write here task. You have to write task. You have to write student add student. You have to write student. You have to write object student. You have to write object student. You have to write student object. Right like this. Look at the object of student. How that what you are going to do is here? This context. You have to store the things. All the records will be stored in this context, right? Context dot student. The student. Inside the student context table, you have the student table. Dot add method. Or save this object of student. What are the objects you are receiving here? Via the front end, you have to save it in the context. Right? After that, you have to write avoid. Press tab key on your keyboard. You have to context dot save. After that, you have written tab key on your keyboard. Object it will take care of it. Right? Very simple. So to add the student. After that, what you're going to do is we have to update the student. So how to update the student? The same thing. This one should be there. HTTP patch, not post. This time patch. So patch request. Right? So the routes, this one should be there. Update student. When you update the student, you have to write like dot. You have to write like this here. Slash. We have a ID. We need ID for update the student. You have to write like this. Right? After that, what you are going to do is you have to write public assign task student update student. Update student. You're right. The object. Paste it over here. Open and close bracket. Now here we have what we are going to do the same thing. You have to write here the same thing. You have to write from db. So db dot. This one should be the update record. So you have to write entry. Entry. You have to write the student object. You have to call the student object dot state. Press the tab key. It automatically take care of it. The 2022. Right? What you are going to write. Okay. It is modified. The entry you have to if you have to modify the what is the entry on your table, you have to make the adjustment. It will be modified. All right. That's why it will take like this. Right. Modified. Here right called avoid. But press tab key on your keyboard. Avoid student DB context. Save changes. Right. Very simple. Here right return. Press tab key on your keyboard. Tab key on your keyboard. Here it will finish. Return objective. Right. After that, we have another CRUD operation which is a delete record. So how to delete the record? You have to check here, it will mention HTTP delete. Press tab key on your keyboard. After what you are going to do is here uh, write the routes. These are the same routes, so just copy and paste it. Here on only you write delete student. Delete student. That's it. Delete student. The same ID. We get the ID and user records, right? So at this time you have to write the public bool delete press the capture on keyboard delete student get the ID, right? So inside this you have to write the things, right? So you write bool array of type create the boolean type boolean type here write the a equal okay the variable a what is the value you can create false at the first time you have false, okay, right? If the record is available only it will be true, right? So you have to create the variable var student equal student context this db context dot student dot find id find the id and delete the records, right? If the student is if yeah it mentioned to tap press the tab key if student is not null what you are going to do is I'm going to delete the record. So how to do this the it's the here this one should be bool is true, so write a equal true press tab key in your book, right? Now what you are going to do is you have to write the entry. So here student you write student uh, you write dot entry sorry db context student is fine, right? Here write context dot entry student student dot state plus tab key on your keyboard it will take care of it, right? If the entry is there if the student is not null if the record is there it will be delete the record into the database table, right? Here you have to write the table text dot save changes else you write result equal to a equal false, that's it. After that you have to write return a, that's it, that's the thing, that's how we have to deal the record. These are the API you have to write it, okay? Very simple way we have done it, right? Simple one. Now let's execute and check whether it's working fine or not. It's a Swagger. We have to use a Swagger this one. So all the things we have to done. Save all. Let's run it. Now you can see here after execute the application, this is the APIs, right? You can load the Swagger. It's defaultly come as a Visual Studio 2022. Okay. Okay. No need to do anything else. Okay. Here it automatically coming here. Your RESTful API. All the things are coming here. Get student, add student. These are the methods we have written the past the APIs, right? So you can see here. Here, we all things we have here. Get student, add student, update student, delete student. All the APIs are here there. Right now, I'm going to post the click here post this one. I'm going to add the record. So you try out. ID should be auto increment. So here we have to type this one student name, which is a John course Java execute Now here the record has been created, right? So now here, if you got the load, get, try out, execute, here it's working. The API is working. Here the one record will be added. If you get the records, you will be able to see the records, right? Now the fetch record, the edit record, you go here, try out, you click try out button, then only you will be able to work, right? Okay, so try out, right? So get method, so what is the ID response? So ID one, right? So here I want to update the record. So the patch, there's a patch record. The ID one. So John have written John. So write Peter. Of course, I'm going to change as JSP. Click execute. Sorry, you have to specify the ID one. Execute. Now here it will be updated successfully. Right. Now I'm going to delete the record. Now you can see here, go to the get. So you execute it. John Peter, only the record one record will be there. Now if you want to update the record, delete the record, here go to the delete request. What's the record? ID, try out. ID one I'm going to delete, right? One. Click execute. Success. True. Now if you go here and check, execute, there is nothing. Here, I have one record, have deleted. This is how the RESTful API works. Successfully, we have completed the RESTful API access here. I'm going to start with the react.js. Now here, this is our backend file, right? In this, if you go to the location where you saved your backend file, here the React ASP CRUD, this is your backend. The backend part we have completed. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create the separate folder in order to manage the front end and back end. This one should be, I'm going to create React ASP CRUD. Okay, so you have to write command name ASP core MBC CRUD. Right. Give the separate name. You have to give the name ASP CRUD. This inside here, I'm going to put it here. This file. Right. Okay. Now here, this one should be our backend. Okay, if you want, you can rename it here as backend. This is the professional way to do the program backend. React ASP backend, ASP core backend, core backend. Right. Now I'm going to prepare the front end. So front end, I'm going to cover about which one is a React. So out into React, go to the, you have to start here, get started React. Click here. Here you have to create a new app. This is a command which you are to running to create the app. Copy this one. You have to copy this one. Right. Now I'm going to go to open the terminal on over here. Where I'm going to create this one. Here I'm going to create a front end, right? Inside this project directory. So CMD, copy, right click, it will paste it. Here I'm going to change the name as, this one should be React ASP front end. React ASP core front end. You like this. Otherwise you can get front end. React we don't need them. ASP core front end. ASP CRUD. Press enter key on your keyboard. Now here our front end application installed successfully. Now what I'm going to do is here, this is a React, right? So here you can see this is a front end, right? Now here I'm going to go inside the folder. So follow the instruction. You type cd asp create front end front end. Press enter key. Right, you go inside the folder. Now I have code space dot. This all your project will be open up the VS Code editor. If you are not installed VS Code editor, you must install the VS Code editor. Okay, it is easy to manage the front end application. After open up your VS Code, you can see here. Right now here you can see node modules, public folder. Inside the public folder we have index.html. So here this is the root. We have a application is rendering on React application. Okay, so it will be calling here. This one is a src. Inside the src app.js file, this is the when you run the app, it will show the uh, default React application look like this, right? So what does is a React index.js, it will be rendering the app. Follow this, what is what you are writing inside this here, it will be rendering, and after that it will be calling to the root will be you're getting here and running. That's why you're calling React is a single page application, right? Now this is a component. Right now what we are going to do is here let's, we don't need these all things, we just get rid of these lines. All things, the default things, we don't need them, right? Okay, these are basic things, just the basics. Now let's, these all things we don't need them, we just get rid of these lines. Okay, now I need only, here I'm going to write the testing purpose, we have to use h1 tag hi, whether it's running or not, right? Now let's, you can open the terminal and here we can run it. The simple way we have run it, we go over here, this one should be our front end. Here we have run the cmd, you have to open again cmd, we have done it, it is very fast start. Successfully it will be displayed. Now let's back to our React. Okay, now here I'm going to create a new component. So select the src folder, new folder, I'm going to create the components. Inside the component folder, I'm going to create a new component which is a student cred .js. Right. Now here, what you're going to do is here, whatever how to do the thing, same thing, just copy it, paste inside here. Only the different you have to give this the name. You have to give student cred. This is how we have made the new component. This component name, function name, paste it over here, right? Okay. Now this student component, we have to call it this here. Write it over here, call it. Now here with this component path we have to give. So right here, import employee. So this one's the employee, you have to create this one. Import employee cred. You have to give the inside the component folder. It's a component folder which name is student cred. You have to give specify the path. Now let's save all. Now let's back to applications. I will be displayed. This hi will be displayed. Perfect. Right now let's change the text, something like Control S. It's working. Perfect. Now what you're going to do is here I'm going to go to first, here I'm going to calling the bootstrap form. So I you just go to the bootstrap side here, you can copy this form form style and paste it. This completed form will be there, right? Now I've already done all the codes. Okay, instead of wasting the time, so I just copy this all the code. I'll be explained, don't worry about that, because it take too much of time to complete the project. That's why I copy this all the codes, I paste it over here. Right. Now here, div is started, div is closed. Now here, inside div, we have to create the heading as student details. After that, we have to create the div tag. Inside div tag, we have a form tag. Form tag consists of three fields: ID, employee, student name, course. So here, this is the efficient way to write the React tag. So here you can see here the input box. You can see the input box. You can see the text class. This is a bootstrap form controller. So ID, hidden field. ID should be hidden with set is value on change. Okay, here we have maintained the one state. Right. Now what you're going to do inside the function tag React, I'm going to paste this function. You don't worry about that. This source code I provide you. I'll be explaining it. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Perfect. All things right. Now what you're going to do is I'm going to go to the terminal. I'm going to open the terminal via the this is the front end. Okay, this is the front end. I'm going to open the terminal. I'm going to install the npm iAxios because if you install the this one you can access the RESTful API. So that you have to install this dependency. This is the must. Okay, right. Now here we have installed the API part successfully here, right? So here let's back to our document project, right? So here now we have to import the this libraries. Okay, then only we will be you have to write like these two things. We have to import it over here, like XOCs, right? Right. Now let's do the things right. First, inside the function, we have to use the use state. We have to maintain the use state. Okay. So we have to try create the consent type. So ID, set ID, we have to get the get and set method. Use state, we have to maintain the state. ID, we have a three fields. ID is the student name and course. We have three fields you have to maintain as a state. Okay, this set name, set course, right? This one should be we have a students because it will be load the students. Okay, so it's load students, right? So after that use effect mean which it will be loaded the details into the table, right? You have to specify the urls, right? So here first what I'm going to do is this the students. First you have to look at the table students, right? Use the student, right? First what I'm going to do is we have to load the data. So how to load the data? This is your student form. We have two buttons. After that, we have a table. Table. This is table columns. Student ID, student name, and course. So option means this is the edit and delete buttons, right? After that, students map function employee mean we have created the variable students set users. Here, when the form is loaded, it goes to the particular RESTful API. Okay, this API I how to copy and paste it. I'll be explaining in few minutes. Don't worry about that. Okay, it's get the data and passing to the set users variable result.data. Then, if you are passing to here, that set users will be passing to the student. Okay, the set if you are calling set users, passing the student. The student you have to get the data. There's a predefined method function map load the student. This is a plural. You have to change it as a singular. This is also singular, right? It's a singular, right? Student, right? And here student ID, student name, and course. it will be written course. We have a button, edit student and delete student. You write this one should be the edit student, the delete student. Right, student. Okay, now the same function we have to create above, no problem. Right, the save all. Right. Okay, now after view the records, go to the RESTful API and view the records. When you click edit records, so it goes to the function. This one should be the delete student. This one should be the edit student. All right. Okay. Now first add the records into the database, right? So how to load the records I'll be explaining. Add the records. Here we have tried SD name course, right? So what I did here is this is simple HTML form. You already know. Okay. But this value on change, this is the React we have to pass it, right? Value is SD name on change event SD name in this function we have created. Okay. So what is the value you are type on this particular SD name text field? It will be passing to this variable, and it will be this one giving to here. What is the course you are typing? This method passing to this variable. Okay, that is the thing. It will be happening over here, right? When you click save button, what happen is what's the course, what's the SD name you're typing here, student name typing here. This values goes to when you click save button, it goes to save. Yeah, when you click save button, on click method save, it goes to function save function event prevent try. So this post is a post request. This is a request. ST name. This is the name we have written here. Okay, so this is the name in our database. The backend we have a name this one. Okay, here in our API we have a name ST name and post. Okay, I already show in my Swagger. Okay, it will go and add it the record into the particular API. The record will be added. It will say after add the record, load the table. Right. After that, all the field need to be clear. Right. After that, if you want to edit the record here in your table, we have a two choices: edit student and delete student option. If you click when you click edit student, it goes to the edit student function. What does edit student function? It's what is the row you are click on the table. So all the record should be passed into the form. Okay, passing this form, st name set course. So if you are maintain the state, your this all the your st name course, this all the form value will be handling the state. Okay, state the function which will be handling all your form. So st name and what is the value you are typing on this text fields, all things will be assigning here to your form, right? Here it will be when you click edit button, it's coming to here all the form data. It will be assigned with your form, right? Along with the ID. Okay, along with the ID. After that, when you make the changes, click edit button. So this time the request going to the patch. This is a patch method, action method. This is the API which will be handling the part, right? The finding and this ID, SD name, and this time record will be updated, right? After that, when you want to delete the record, that also we have a button delete. Delete student, get the student ID, okay, get the student ID and go to the delete function. Get the ID and pass into here and go to the RESTful API and delete the record. And after delete the record, form has been clear. Okay, this is all the things form has been clear. At the same time, table is loaded. The simple works we have done in this API. This is React. Okay, very simple. Okay, this is I have written the simple. This is the form loading code. This is the saving part. here. Separate the saving part. This is the delete part. This is the update part. Here, very simple code I have written. The clear code. Very simple clear code I have written. Okay, this is a form design. This is a simple one we having a React. Okay. Now what you're going to do is I'm going to run my backend part. Now let's run the backend part first. Okay. Okay. First we have to run the backend. After that we have to run the front end. Right. Now my backend is running. You can see here get, post, patch all the requests. I'm going to this all the API I'm going to give as into a front end. Okay. So a front end framework. Try out. Here you can see the all the things, right? So here I'm going to again I'm going to test it, right? So if you have to execute that, this already we have checked it. Again we have to do it, right? Now the same request. This is the this API request I'm going to set it. Okay, here this one. Simply I will get this request here like this. Here this one. Request URL this one. Okay. Simply you have to just go to your front end. You have to pass it. Get student. Paste it over here. The URL. Just paste it over here inside this bracket. Right. Perfect. After that, second one, we have a second one is add records, add data. So go to the this one. Right now here, simply you can get it this one. Post request, try out. This how we have worked as a stagger. James goes PHP. Click execute. Here this is the request. Copy it. Just save. Right. Okay. Let's back it. The record is added, right? Now, right. Now let's back to our another things is a patch request. So patch you have to write here is a ID. So what is the ID? You have to add what's the ID? You have to get it loaded. ID2, right? Now what you are going to do is I'm going to edit the record. ID2 try out. ID2 Peter ID2 course HTML execute successfully updated. This is a patch request here. This one not ID. You take it only these things. ID also getting this one in our front end. Okay, right? This is how we have to call the API. Simply you have to call the API. After the Swagger, this one very user friendly. Okay, Swagger is very simple way to handle it. Same thing like a postman. So delete also here. What is the ID you are going to delete? Try out. ID2 execute. It's true. Here delete that request. Okay, so this one should be the delete. So this one copy. This ID is coming from a front end. We have front end part. We are typing the ID. Okay, delete request. This one, right? That's it. Now let's save all and go back to our application. This one I am going to running. My front end is running. Back end is running. I'm going to run my front end. Frontend is compiling. Employee not defined. Yes, right. Here I have had some error. That's why it's yeah. This one should be the not employees. This one should be the students. That's why it takes error. Students. Now let's see there's one error which is line set 66. Okay, this one should be the employees, students. Students, right. Now let's compile successfully. Now let's back to our we have run our front end. Output look like this. We'll see. So front end. It's so we have to close the tab, open a new tab and check it out. Right. Now we have to open a new tab and check it out. Now the app is running. Now let's set the record. So now here one thing you have forgot to add it. So let's stop the programming. One thing you have to add it. Go to the program.cs file. Here is a program. This is all the core application configuration is there. We already done this one. We have given this the context DB database creation we have done. Okay, you can see the builder service here. Okay, the builder object we have created the you have to call the student DB context, right? After that, you have to build the app. Right here, what you're going to do is we have to communicate in order to communicate with the front end and back end. We have to this code with the policies we have to given the policies, right? Or cross CORS cross policies. Then only it will be work without the RESTful API work without any problem. It will be give the all the things hello. Okay, the policy we have to give the hello, header, methods, all the things we have to give the hello. Okay, this is the policy we have to give. Then only it will be work, right? Don't worry about that. This is all the source code I provide you. Now let's run. Save all. Now it will be work. Now you have my backend is working. This is backend. If I go to the front end, I'm going to add the record. James course Java. Click register button. Student registration successfully. Now you can newly create student will be you can see over here. If you want to create another student, Peter course PHP, click register, student registration successfully, you will be able to get the one. If you want to edit the record, click edit button, record passing successfully. If you want to make any changes as JSP, click update button, record updated successfully, here it will change it. If you want to edit the record, click delete button, delete it successfully, right? Uh, it's working perfectly well. If you have any doubt, you can ask me anytime. If you like my channel, please subscribe me, like me. Thank you for watching.